Hello and welcome to the Star Citizen News, this time for the week ending the 2nd of October. It's the run-up to CitizenCon and all of the info about CitizenCon, how to print your tickets, what time it is, where to catch it and watch it on Twitch or Twitter, all that sort of jazz is all in the links in the description below. And there's a great article on the RSI website explaining all of that and what's going to be done a couple of days before and all that sort of jazz. So watch all that, get prepared, get hyped for CitizenCon. It's going to be exciting. Also, you can be part of CitizenCon too. There is a community kind of event asking for 30 to 45 second clips about what Star Citizen means to you that you do in front of a camera. You can do it on your phone. Just make sure your camera and voice quality is as strong or as best as possible to be in for a chance to appear in, I believe, some form of montage. Again, links in the description for more information about that. Star Citizen subscribers. So subscribers this month will be able to use the MISC Starfarer all month throughout this month of October. Subs will also have had a subscriber CitizenCon trophy attributed to their accounts too. In the recent newsletter, we got to see a little tiny sneak peek of the Hoplite, which should be coming out available pretty damn soon. The Aegis Saber won the Dogfighter of the Year on the RSI website and is now available for purchase and upgrade in the Pledge Store until the 7th of October. It's $170 for that standalone ship. Buyback tokens as well, so store credit buyback tokens will be refreshed on all accounts on the 3rd of October. That allows you to buy back any of your previous purchases for ships and ship packages that weren't promotional using store credit, and you can only get one of these every quarter, I believe. And we've been running a giveaway like we do every month for a random commenter on one of my Star Citizen videos. The winner of September's giveaway is No Budget King. You've won something. It might even be a budget PC. Get in contact with me. I'll message you and all that sort of jazz as well. The new giveaway throughout October, we will be giving away some form of Star Citizenship to a random commenter. We'll do this pretty much every month on any of my Star Citizen content. You don't even need to be subscribed, although that is appreciated. I'm going to be grabbing something from the CitizenCon sale, and we'll use that as a prize for this month. And then we'll grab lots of stuff at the anniversary sale towards the middle of November as well, so we don't have to worry about what we're actually going to be giving away. But yeah, just comment on any of our Star Citizen content. And it doesn't matter how many times you comment, you'll only get one entry per month. But feel free to comment more, it helps me out. This week's ATV and RTV were Foundry 42 UK focused, and they talked quite a lot about sweeping changes to systems and some new mechanics. So starting with radar and scanning, many careers are going to be based on combat, policing, piracy, smuggling, mining, exploration. They are going to require radar and scanning to the most part to allow them to do that much more effectively. And previously, we've only had passive scanning, which is great, but only gives us some basic information. Active scanning is going to be a little bit more. Now, you're going to be able to actively scan to see cross-section of ships, which is basically the angle of the ship as you see it. So if you like seeing it from top down, you'd see like the whole shape of the ship. That would be easy to detect if you can see more of a ship when you're cross-section detecting. Also, IR and EM signal-based detections are going to be on there as well. That's going to be based on the items on your ship. If you're using items, if you're firing lasers, if you're using your booster, you're going to have more of an IR signature. And if your power plant's putting out loads more electricity, more power, then you're going to have a higher EM signature. That's basically the idea there. They're going to draw different power and cause different heat based on your uses. For the FPS, they're also working on decibel sound detection as well, with a similar kind of system, which are fundamentally the same. Players will also admit IR and EM in the same way too, through their weapon and life support use, and if they've got any other power or any other items on them, they might be using IR or EM signatures. Previously, we've just had that passive radar, but now we have this active ping too, or at least that's what they're showing here. It sends out a pulse that amplifies signals and gives you some data back on the return. In practice, you'll charge up the scanner like a golf swing in the first iteration, and make that very clear, and then release it when you've hit the sweet spot or hit the amount of power that you want to use to give out a more effective radar pulse. If you don't do it correctly, you might not detect anything, or your signal might be really loud when you ping, and you might be easy to detect. So the longer the charge it, the more powerful, the longer range the pulse is, but again, overcharge it, bad things. You could even blind your sensors, as well as making yourself really visible. Passive radar is great for Arena Commander, but in the PU, the newer systems are much more important. You'll want to scan for loads of stuff, including what sort of cargo's on a ship, what's in an asteroid, specific locations of things on ships, what crew is on an enemy ship if you're a bounty hunter. Smugglers or pirates might need to know how to trick the system. Spies need to know how to disappear from radars. Scouting ahead as well. People are going to use scanners to covertly gather information about enemy forces in a given area. That's pretty much what the Terrapin is all about, that and getting away if it needs to. And then you can sell that info onto an interested party, or you can use it for your own fleet to make a decision whether to attack or act on that information. It will give recon and scanning a big part in fleets for ships like the Herald. These mechanics will be important for both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. Scanner operators may be in high demand. Scanners are going to be like equipment as well, so it's going to be like a shield or power plant. They're going to come in all shapes and sizes, and they're going to have different modes and different types and lots of different abilities based on what scan you actually go for, being better in different areas. The idea here is to have a powerful addition to passive scanning that you might not necessarily get all of the details when you actively ping a ship. It might just be its size of the cross-section, the IR and EM numbers, and there's the potential of faking and getting incorrect or incomplete info as well. So cross-section spoofing would be quite hard, obviously, because it's literally bouncing off the cross-section of a ship. Though they did talk about the chaff making your ship look larger, maybe, or obscuring parts of your ship. Again, if you're partially obscured, you're going to be partially obscured when you get pinged. EM and IR signatures can be masked and managed as well, so that you can try and avoid these kind of radar pings, but you could also potentially spoof larger signals for intimidation or confusion purposes, or to set up a little trap. The idea with this Gulf swing as well is that there is skill involved in the system. This is going to evolve. It's very much a first iteration of the system. They're getting scanning out there so we can actively scan and making it very simple to do that first. I suspect in the future scan operators will have a lot to do, and they will make this a lot more in-depth rather than just powering up a Gulf swing. But it's just to show that there's going to be some form of skill to it, and I suspect they will keep on building on that system. The Vanguard Hoplite. So the Hoplite was also shown. It's a Vanguard with its walls and interior removed so that it can fit more seats and cargo. And it's much more of a variant rather than just a Vanguard that's modular. It doesn't have the ability to switch its pod in. It's got a bigger ramp too, so you can get things up and down it, and lots of people can run out simultaneously. The Hoplite is in the UEE green colour scheme because it's a military ship. There's no beds, no swappable pods, but it has pretty much the same weapon capabilities. Now, this week's MVP that they showed was some sand. It was a lovely sandcastle of a 300 series ship made with cardboard. Now, I had a personal MVP that I found, or actually knew before I found. Moonchild has done some really nice visual weapon stats, which I found really useful. I'll put the link in the description. Really well done, good job there. The other thing, call me a monster, it was just a sandcastle. Shipshape showed the flight model changes that they've got proposed at the moment. Basically, they look like they're going to halve the speeds, or roughly half the speeds of a load of ships, to test them in fighting conditions, dogfighting conditions like that, and roll out a 2.5 interim patch for the Evocati to test. If the slower flight speeds work and people like them, then they'll roll them out to a larger PTU so more people can test them. The idea here is to make dogfights much closer, and for ships to start and stop, accelerate and decelerate quicker, trying to remove some of the jousting that's there, but also some of the slide in combat, and to make the dogfights feel more visceral, like original Wing Commander kind of visceral. The plan is then to also balance shields, hull health, and weapons in general as well, because obviously they'll need to be at different ranges. Time to kill and stuff will need to be rebalanced, and they're planning to rebalance this again and again and again. Anyway, tell me what you think about that. I've got a much more in-depth video going into the flight model and the changes that they've proposed in the description below. It is quite an important topic, and there was a lot talked about there, so I've broken it down in a lot more sense. So check that out if you're interested in the flight model changes, which I assume you would be. Missile racks. So they are making modular missile racks for a variety of different ships. So as long as your ship doesn't have a bespoke system, so like the Constellation or the Starfarer Gemini, then you're going to be able to use these new modular missile racks, which will basically give you a choice of more smaller missiles or less larger missiles. That's the idea. And they've standardized the size of hard points of missiles too. They built a flexible system for it, so missiles are still going to look unique, but you're going to have this modular system to hold the missiles in there as well. And everything will be able to make use of that new system that hasn't got a proprietary kind of bespoke custom missile system. Weapons in general as well look to becoming more in line with their styles. Cannons might typically be long range, for example, repeaters medium range, and then Gatling short range. Weapons will also all be influenced by their manufacturers, and they'll all be relatively unique. Lobby interface and mobiGlas design. There's some big UI updates that we're showing that are all hopefully coming in 2.6. The old system for lobby interfaces and menus is being totally overhauled, both visually and from the code base too. Should be cleaner, much more fun and easy to use. You're going to be able to jump into lobbies and games with friends much quicker, and you're going to be able to customize your ship from the Arena Commander menu too, customize your Marine from the Star Marine menu. Looks like there's going to be different classes in Star Marine, various helmets, weapons, grenades, lots of different loadouts to choose from. They showed the Scout and Protector class, the Scout, I'm assuming with light armor, Protector with medium armor, as well as a couple of different factions, Marines and Slavers. This is basically just the two different teams that you're going to be fighting out in Star Marine. Ships will also be able to be loaded out in the new way as well, with weapons, items, equipment too, and they'll be able to give you full stats of what the items do here as well. Leaderboards are also going to be brought into the game, so you don't have to keep on jumping to the website. That's one of the major ideas here. Going to the website less. Everything needs to be in-game. There will be official rankings and that sort of stuff too for all those leaderboards. For people that wish to opt in, I believe there was also a way to opt out. The mobiGlas. So there's new prototypes of the mobiGlas. They've been made. They're working in the development branch of the game. They've used Mission Manager and the cargo apps to build or the purchasing apps to build like a style guide for the rest of the mobiGlas apps and mods and that sort of thing. It looks like there's going to be, because we get to see a couple of the Mission Manager screens, there might be time-sensitive missions and various ways to complete missions too. It's not just do this to do this. You can go and kill this guy, or you can go and reason with him, or you can go and arrest him, whatever. Shopping for weapons should give you a lot more detail with the actual stats as well as weapon performance, all that sort of jazz. You're going to be able to customize the colors of your mobiGlas as well. So you have quite a lot of customization options as well. You're going to be able to choose what appears on your mobiGlas in the same way that you could on a phone by dragging apps onto the blocks that are the main display, and you'll get to see more information on those apps. You could literally just drag and drop an app to where you want it. It's a work in process, but it should be coming out in 3.0, which is very exciting. I really am looking forward to the mobiGlas changes. As with all the new features and mechanics we've discussed here, these will continue to change, get iterated upon, get improved, and in some cases entirely revamped. So just keep that in mind before you go, they've broken the game. Actually get hands-on with it first, at least see it in action before we start saying that. And it's the kind of a bit odd. Next week is going to be a bit more erratic. There is no ATV or RTV because they're gearing up for CitizenCon. We're likely to get a glut of awesome videos, not just from me, but from Star Citizen as well. Just after CitizenCon and during CitizenCon, I am streaming an hour before, during, and after the actual live CitizenCon event as more of a kind of talk show of what's going on. You'll be able to talk in my chats, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube, and we can all just talk about what's going on. And I can't pause it during the live stream, but I can talk lots afterwards and before, and hopefully Matachi and maybe some other content creators will be around as well we can chat to. And I stream every Sunday at 2 p.m. UTC too, but next week will be 10 p.m. UTC to match CitizenCon. A special thank you to all of my Patreons and Game Whisper supporters. Your extra money that you pledge genuinely helps out the channel and stream so much. I'll be starting to sort out some more exclusives for you this month too. Looking forward to that RSI Polaris Corvette going on sale as well. That might be pretty expensive though, we'll have to wait and see. Please don't forget to like and subscribe as well, guys. It really does help me. Links to everything I've discussed below, and I'll see you in the verse.